Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. It's fight week for Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo. I've leaned towards Aljamain because he's been fighting more. He fights smart, and he's not overly aggressive, and he can still finish guys if he needs to. He's good with submissions. He's really good at not getting hit more than he needs to and hitting guys in the process. And not that he doesn't have knockout power, but he doesn't really go for it if he needs to. He doesn't really put himself in harm's way a whole lot. He's real smart. He's not cautious, but he also finds ways to win. I don't know how to describe his fighting style too well because he's a little different than what I'm used to seeing with Dillashaw and Cruz and the OGs of the division. And then you have Cejudo. He's obvious. He knows what he's going to do, and he usually imposes his will. But we also have to look at the fact that some of his fights, like with Dillashaw and Cruz, he did stop those guys. Some people say those are early stoppages. Were they early stoppages? That's debatable. He did beat those guys, though. He did. So my prediction is because Cejudo is just too aggressive and too predictable, and the fact that he's already been finished in his career, especially by Demetrius Johnson, who's the greatest flyweight of all time, I have to go with Aljamain Sterling. I think he's just going to be too cautious. He's going to be too calculated. His mind's in the right place right now. He's riding off a lot of momentum. He's actually gaining the respect he deserves as a champion. He did beat Petr Yan. He beat TJ Dillashaw. I just think Cejudo's going to gas himself out. Not gas himself out, but he's going to leave himself open to getting hit too many times. This fight reminds me of Max Holloway and Volkanovski, the first and third fight that they shared, where Max leaves himself open to getting hit too much. He throws a lot, but he doesn't land as much as he'd like, versus Volk is just in and out too fast and is beating him up and is moving all over the place, and Max just looking lost and confused. I think you'll see that with Cejudo, and Cejudo won't be able to get him to the ground very much because Aljamain's long and rangy, so he'll be able to fight him like Leon did with Kamaru Usman. He'll be able to stay on the perimeter a lot, pick him apart with leg kicks, with jabs, every now and then clinch him and hit him with some knees and just rock his world. Not knock him out, but he'll be able to rock him and keep him from grabbing him like he wants. With that in mind, I think unless Cejudo gets a first or second round TKO and blows him out of the water, which he can do, I have Aljamain Sterling dominating this fight on the feet. I think Cejudo's just going to be confused. He's going to be lost. He's going to be frustrated. I just think, and the fact that he hasn't fought in 3 years, against a guy who can do everything, I think it's just a bad fight for Cejudo, personally. I think this is a mismatch for him stylistically, and I just think he's going to get flat out, outclassed. I got Cejudo losing a unanimous decision to Aljamain Sterling, and still.